last Thursday against the Patriots, I thought we did some good things on defense. The one thing that we weren't consistent enough from a standpoint of our execution. I thought the guys played tough, they played hard. We got to do a much better job on third down, getting off the field. And really third down starts before they're trying to create negative plays on first and second down and getting behind the sticks. When you look at this week, we have a different, unique challenge in regards to, Jackson and Henry, two of the best at their position in the game and what they do and the things that they present. And then when you add in Flowers, Andrews, and Likely, they have a very unique group of guys on offense that can create problems across the board. And I really don't think the offensive line gets enough credit. They're averaging about 142 a game. So to say that we have to stop the run is an understatement. And with that, I'll take your questions.
What's it like as a DC preparing for Lamar? How different is it than most other quarterbacks?
Like I said, they have different, unique things that they present in regards to the elements of him running the football and the zone read stuff. You have to account for that in everything that you do. You've seen it on the first play of the game. You definitely see it in critical situations when they need a play. He's going to come up with something. And I think Monk does a tremendous job with that offense. I was with him in Cleveland, so good coach there. And these guys are going to be well prepared, and so will we.
In the New England game, Jarvis Brownlee spoke about he felt guys weren't on the same page. I think he was referring mostly to open receivers in that game. Maybe some communication issues. What's your take on it?
Well, definitely unfortunate situations, as he stated. We do have to do a much better job of communicating. That communication starts with me trying to create clarity with those guys. And then within the game, within the course of a rep, we got to make sure that communication is relayed from one side of the field to the other side of the field to make sure that we're all playing the same thing. So, but that starts with me, and I have to do a much better job, as I stated, making sure that I, create clarity and details for those guys.
What is Isaiah Oliver brought to you guys in the secondary? You've been using him at big nickel, and also obviously he can play safety as well.
He brings that versatility that you just mentioned, being able to play the big nickel, being able to play safety. He can definitely come in if something happens at actual nickel position as well. Someone that I got a lot of trust in. Of course, I had him in San Fran, so I knew coming here exactly what kind of player he was. Very smart and versatile. So he brings a lot to us, and I want him to continue to progress and get better each and every week.
The no interceptions in 10 games, how much of that is just bad luck, not being able to get a tip here and there, and how much of it is just due to maybe guys not being in the right place at the right time?
Well, I definitely don't want to say that the guys aren't in position, and I don't believe in luck. So we got to create our own luck, if you want to say that, and something that we emphasize and talk about and teach each and every day. But when we get in the course of a game, we have to have great intent. For us really trying to get the ball out. You see it all the time. We show those things. I show those things each and every week across the league where guys are, getting the ball punched out. Yeah, we got to do a great job getting our hands up. I think the guy from Philly this past week got 3 tips. And, so there's opportunities there. But, again, we have to be intentional about those each and every time that we're out there.
How did you like how Quincy responded these last couple of weeks? It seems like he's played some of his best football this season.
He has. It just really testament to who he is as a person. We know what kind of player we have in him. He has responded well, making plays for us. I'm trying to do a much better job to continue to put him in position with the unique skill set that he has. He has ability to be able to, get to the quarterback and those things like that. And he's done a great job, really, even with his run game. So he stepped up the last couple of weeks, and we're looking for a great performance from him this week as well.
With a lot of pieces shuffling in the secondary, Brandon Stevens has been a constant contributor back there. What have you seen from him?
As you just mentioned, just consistent, steady veteran. We knew that coming in the game, in the season rather, that he was going to be that guy for us. And I know he won't say it at all, neither will we, but I'm sure he's going to be excited about this week, and hopefully he can continue to build on what he's done throughout the course of the year.
What have you seen from Jermaine the last couple of weeks? Seems like his pressure numbers are way up.
Well, I think Jermaine just slowly but surely, dealing with the injury, coming back, and then all of a sudden have another setback. He's getting back to his form, and then also I just think you see a little bit more. I don't want to say he wasn't that leader before, but, he stepped up, in the absence of Quinnen, and you can see him trying to be a little bit more assertive, not only with the D-line room, but just with the whole defense as a whole. So I appreciate that from him.
Well, hey, just to start, I know AG touched on it earlier this week about the quarterback situation, and the only thing that I'll add really to that is that it never falls on one guy. We all know the quarterback is the one who gets a lot of the praise, gets a lot of the criticism, but it's never about just one person, and we all have a hand in it. And it starts with me, and so we're going to continue to improve on a daily basis, which what we're trying to do. Going forward, we're ready to go to the Ravens, and that's kind of where we're at. There's always opportunities that are out there, and we're looking to find ways to take advantage of those on a consistent basis. But otherwise, moving on to the Ravens.
How do you? They're different quarterbacks, so what kind of things can you do with Tyrod?
Yeah, I think, just what you guys kind of saw maybe in training camp or over his career, as a traditional, quarterback, I think, and you just try to put him in good spots and the rest of the players in those good spots to give opportunities to make plays and just operate within the offense itself.
I know you say it's everybody, but is there something that you could point to on why the offense hasn't gone the way you would want, and why Justin is not still the quarterback?
Sure. I think the first thing I do is I look inward at myself and go, what is it that I can do better? And there's definitely some things that I can do, and I'm not going to divulge all that here today. But definitely, I always want to look at myself first and see, am I making sure that I'm putting him or any of them in general in the right position at the right time? And I just got to, continue to evaluate that on a daily basis. But, we're in the situation we're in, and we're going to move forward with that this week.
What's your expectation for Justin? Like, how has he handled this? What's his role? I know he's a backup, but
right. Yeah, just as you said, I know AG's touched on it. He's the 2 this week, and he's handled it like a true professional. It's never fun to hear that news. It's not. A lot of quarterbacks have been there. It just isn't fun to have that. But he's been a true professional in every way that you could imagine, and we expect him to act like that and perform when his number's called.
What have your early thoughts on Mechie and Mitchell?
Yeah, I think they've done a tremendous job, both of them, coming in and absorbing the game plans. When you get new guys in, you don't just say, hey, go look at the training camp or spring install playbook, because it just would be too much. But you talk to them about, hey, here's the install for that week. And they've both done a really, really nice job, actually. To picking that up, the nuances of some of the things, and they'll continue to get better as far as like the exact details that we went through in off-season programming and training camp as they continue to get more repetitions. But I'm really impressed with both of those players right now, both of them.
There's a school of thought that with Justin and his unique skill set, that you, coming from a drop-back system, that you were not able to fully capitalize on his skill set in your offense and adjust your offense. Do you agree or disagree with that school of thought?
I think what we tried to do on a weekly basis is utilize what we felt was the best way to win each individual game based on the defense and then the skill set of our players, and trying to put those guys in position to win. Obviously, we haven't come up with as many wins as we would like so far this year. But again, I'll just turn it back on myself and make sure that I'm looking at it. Am I putting everybody in position to be successful?
Is there something specific you see in AD? I know he dropped some passes the other day, he's stepping himself, but is there something specific you see that you like?
Well, I'll just first start as like AD as the person. is awesome. He's been phenomenal so far. Just like being around him. He's got great energy. He's got a great attitude. And to me, that's where it starts. Like when I see him, I think he's one of us. You know, I think he's one of us. But if you watch his performance last week, I got it. The drops that happens occasionally. But what I see there is separation. I see separation, and to me, that gets me fired up. That gets me excited about that player and where he's going to go. We haven't even seen it. We haven't seen scratch the surface with that guy, and we're excited about where he's going to go.
What have you seen the scenes with Brady Cook? He's not somebody we get to watch a lot, but how's he developed this season?
Yeah, I know you guys, you were talking to AG about that the other day, and what I would say is this, is that Brady Cook is right where we want him to be right now in his development plan. He's right on par where we want him to be.
How unique is Hamilton in the way they employ him all over the place?
Yeah, he's a Swiss Army knife, but he's like a Swiss Army knife built out of a bunch of huge knives, not little tiny ones. Like he can do a lot of things really, really, really well, and he presents challenges to us as far as how are we going to handle it in our different personnel groupings. And so he's got to be accounted for. He's a guy that he is a playmaker for that defense, and they're doing a great job putting him in position to be around the ball on a consistent basis, and that's something that we're going to have to make sure that we take care of each and every play.
Your defense has completely flipped from the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I think the last 4 games, they're only giving up like 14 points a game or something
Yeah.
like that. What have been some of the keys there for them to get that turned around?
Yeah, I think one of the big keys is just like Eric was talking about is getting 14 around the ball. Like it feels like they've kind of switched their defensive philosophy to play a defense where he can be involved in the run fits. He can be involved in the coverage in different ways where they can put him in position to make plays.
How encouraged are you by the play of the offensive line? And, you know, the continuity that you guys have had up front for us.
Yeah, I'm very encouraged. And knock on wood, you said it, continuity. You know, we've been in a good spot with our health up front this year, and I think that's a big part of it is just that continuity where you've got the same 5 guys playing each and every game. But they're just continuing to develop. They're continuing to show the physicality level that we want as an offensive line in the run game. We're moving guys off the ball. There's some clips each and every week where they're taking a down lineman and a double team and moving them 5 yards off the ball. So I'm really encouraged, and I like where that group is at. Not just on the field, but again, we talk about it off the field. Like these guys are a tight-knit group, and they challenge each other to get better each and every day. So we feel like we're in a pretty good spot there.